As ballots hit the mail in Colorado's primary election, 3 former state attorneys general weigh in on what it takes to be the state's chief legal officer.
And what they said cast doubt on whether Secretary of State Jena Griswold is qualified. Griswold is one of 4 Democrats running for AG. An investigation by your political reporter Sean Boyd raises questions about Griswold's professional experience as well as some personal experiences, like growing up with an outhouse. So, Sean? An outhouse?
Yeah, an outhouse. Over the last 8 years, Jena Griswold has repeatedly suggested her family was so poor they didn't have indoor plumbing. Turns out they did. If the claim about the outhouse was Griswold's only misleading statement, it would be mind-boggling, but not newsworthy. It's not.
I grew up in a cabin with an outhouse outside.
Jena Griswold poses beside the outhouse she says she used as a kid to take care of business and now uses as a candidate to illustrate just how far she's come.
Now I'm running for Attorney General because every Coloradan deserves that same shot.
Her campaign sent a picture to prove the outhouse is real. So is the home's indoor plumbing, according to Larimer County records, which show a 1,200-gallon septic tank installed in 1990. 5 years before Griswold moved in. Her campaign says she used the indoor and outdoor toilet because of, quote, the significant expense of septic tank pumping. At no point, it says, did the secretary claim she didn't have indoor plumbing. She just left it out. The outhouse is more compelling. Apparently, Griswold has taken a similar approach regarding her resume. She says her first job after law school was at a D.C. law firm where she practiced international anti-corruption law for 2 years. But according to a timeline provided by her campaign, Griswold was there for no more than 15 months, and that includes the period before she passed the D.C. bar exam. She was there just 5 months after earning her law license, and her campaign says she represented one client in family court before she was licensed to practice in D.C., the only client she's ever represented in court, according to the campaign. It says Griswold left the firm in April 2013, but didn't say why. There is also little information about the small business Griswold says she operated from 2015 to 2018 before becoming Secretary of State. After repeated inquiries, her campaign said it was a consulting firm with no employees and 6 clients over 3 years. There are conflicting reports of what she did as director of then-Governor Hickenlooper's D.C. office. She says she was instrumental in bringing back hundreds of millions of relief dollars after the 2013 flood. The campaign provided a statement from Hickenlooper calling her a key part of the team. But her direct supervisor at the time, Alan Salazar, says Lisa Carpenter oversaw her work.
It's pretty disgusting.
Her recollection differs from Hickenlooper's.
She didn't really do a lot of what her job entailed, and so to say that she went above and beyond that and delivered for the state is wildly inaccurate.
Carpenter says Griswold is taking credit for the hard work of others.
It is offensive to me and to the work that those people did. I mean, it was a really hard time in the governor's office, and to make light or lie about something or be untruthful about something so important to the state is pretty incredible to me.
As secretary, Griswold has also inflated her role by claiming, for example, that she argued before the U.S. Supreme Court to keep Trump off the ballot when she's not even credentialed to appear before the U.S. Supreme Court. Her campaign says she worked on strategy and tactics with the AG's office, an office she now wants to run after working at one law firm for roughly 1 year and representing one client in court more than 14 years ago. Former Democratic AG Ken Salazar says, quote, the Attorney General requires the best of lawyers, and anyone elected to that office should have the highest legal qualifications. His Republican successor, John Suthers, agrees.
You need to be smart enough about the law to be able to evaluate the streams of information that are coming to you and make the appropriate decision. And you don't learn that outside of a law office, in my opinion. If you're running and saying, I'm going to run the office, you darn well ought to have the background to be able to do it.
based on the qualifications outlined on the Colorado Attorney General's website, including a litigation background and ability to handle trials independently. It's unclear if Griswold meets the minimum criteria for an entry-level attorney, let alone the top job. If she wins, she will oversee more than 700 attorneys and staff and manage legal matters spanning consumer protection, civil rights, constitutional, criminal, water, and environmental law. Salazar says the AG is responsible for upholding the rule of law and representing the people of Colorado in thousands of cases in all state and federal courts. Former AG Cynthia Kaufman says it's an awesome responsibility.
You have to understand how law is practiced, how briefs are written, how arguments are structured, what happens when you go to court. If you're not experienced and able to make complicated legal decisions, then you put the office at risk. You put the state of Colorado on the line.
Griswold's campaign says the AG's responsibilities go beyond just courtroom litigation. The AG, it says, is an executive who manages a large office, provides direction, and makes strategic decisions. And Griswold, it says, has that experience. But her record as Secretary of State has been marred by controversies. Before the 2024 presidential election, her office leaked hundreds of passwords to election equipment online and didn't alert county clerks. Griswold said she needed to determine the size and scope of the issue first. Her deputy said she was worried about it becoming a media storm. She also came under fire in 2022 for using millions of tax dollars to appear in ads as she ran for re-election. She said the ads were vital to fight election misinformation. Perhaps the loudest criticism of Griswold is that she's politicized an historically nonpartisan office. Kaufman says the AG is an advocate, not activist.
People will leave, and excellent lawyers will leave because they don't want to be in a partisan environment. The State Attorney General's office will be weaker for it.
Kaufman says look no further than what's happened at the Department of Justice over the last year, where thousands of attorneys have quit as politics has seeped into the office. I requested an interview with Griswold. Her campaign told me she wasn't available. I also looked at the resumes of the other three candidates and did not find any misinformation. You know, I talked to dozens of Democrats for this story, lawyers, judges, people who knew and worked with her, and all of them told me she's not equipped to be AG, but they were afraid to go on camera because they were worried about retaliation from her, they said. You know, this is one of those races, it's overshadowed by the gubernatorial race, but it's one that voters really need to pay close attention to, I think.
Yeah, very important and informative reporting, Sean, as always. Thank you.
Thank you.